Kamala Harris began her second day in North Carolina by speaking at Koinonia Christian Center in Greenville. This event is part of her campaign's Souls to the Polls initiative to encourage Black churchgoers to vote before the November 5th election. The vice president addressed approximately 7,000 supporters at a Sunday afternoon rally at East Carolina University's arena. She suggested that Trump's team has prevented him from releasing medical records or debating her again because they might fear that people will see he is too weak and unstable.
But none of that is what we hear from Donald Trump. Instead, from him, we are just hearing from that same old tired playbook. He has no plan for how he would address the needs of the American people. He is only focused on himself. And he's not, but here's the thing, North Carolina, and he's not being transparent with the voters. He's not being transparent. So check this out. He refuses to release his medical records. I've done it. Every other presidential candidate in modern era has done it. He is unwilling to do a 60 Minutes interview. Like every other major party candidate has done for more than half a century. He is unwilling to meet for a second debate. And here's the thing, it makes you wonder, why does his staff want him to hide away? One must question, are they afraid that people will see that he is too weak and unstable to lead America? Is that what's going on?
Harris delivered remarks on Sunday to a largely Black church audience in battleground North Carolina. She criticized Donald Trump for spreading misinformation about the government's hurricane response. President Joe Biden visited Florida for the second time this month to assess storm damage. Harris, the Democratic presidential nominee, did not mention Trump by name and said that he is a prominent figure promoting false claims regarding the Biden administration's response to Hurricanes Milton and Helene. Both storms affected Florida, with Helene impacting North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, while Milton moved toward the open Atlantic. The vice president spoke at Koinonia Christian Center, highlighting the heroes who assist residents regardless of political affiliation.
Let's elect Josh Stein as your next governor. And he and Governor Cooper are not here today because they've been working around the clock dealing with the hurricane recovery efforts. And we want to always thank them and all the incredible local, state, and federal leaders who have been working together for North Carolina. I was here 8 days ago in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and since then, of course, another powerful storm, Hurricane Milton, cut a path of destruction through Florida. And our hearts, I know, all of us, and our prayers go out to everyone who's been impacted by these storms. I have spoken to both state and local officials, both Republican and Democrat, to let them know we will be with you every step of the way as you recover. Because in times like this, we stand together as one nation. That is who we are.
Harris stated, "I am speaking of those who have been literally lying about people who are working hard to help those in need. They are spreading disinformation when the truth and facts are required." She expressed concern that those in need might be convinced that forces are working against them, which could prevent them from seeking aid. Harris remarked that some individuals are trying to gain some advantage for themselves, to play politics with other people's heartbreak, and it is unconscionable. She emphasized, "Now is not a time to incite fear. It is not right to make people feel alone." "That is not what leaders do in a crisis," she stated.
His former national security advisor, 2 of his former defense secretaries, his former chief of staff in the White House, his own vice president have all warned America Donald Trump is unfit to serve. Or just listen most recently to what we heard General Milley said. General Milley, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs under Donald Trump, it was just reported he said, quote, "No one has ever been as dangerous to this country," in referring to Donald Trump. Think about that. Think about that. And we can already see the harm he's up to as a candidate. Most recently, spreading disinformation in the wake of natural disasters. Blocking real solutions that would stop drug cartels from crossing the border when he tried to kill and did that border security deal. Because you see, Donald Trump cares more about scaring people, creating fear, running on a problem, instead of what real leaders do, which is to participate in fixing problems.
Harris's appearances in North Carolina mark the beginning of a week focused on strengthening support among Black voters, a crucial constituency for the Democratic Party. She is relying on Black turnout in competitive states like North Carolina to help her defeat Trump, who has aimed to energize men of all races and has attempted to connect with Black men in particular. Harris's remarks in North Carolina aimed to counter Trump's narrative.
Trump, well, he has a different plan. Just Google Project 2025. It is a detailed and dangerous blueprint for what he will do if he is elected president. Donald Trump will give billionaires and corporations massive tax cuts, cut Social Security and Medicare, make it easier for companies to deny overtime pay for workers. He would get rid of that $35 cap on insulin for seniors. He would impose what I call a Trump sales tax, a 20% tax on everyday basic necessities, which will cost the average American family $4,000 more a year. And on top of all of this, Donald Trump intends to end the Affordable Care Act. And he has no plan to replace it. Did you see the debate? He has concepts of a plan.